Hello YouTube, hello everyone. We're gonna play some Kerbal Space Program. This is DrKartoffelsalat and let's go to the moon. Well, I guess. Let's finish some wonderful science first. Since we play a UBM Science Mode, UBM Unmanned before manned, and yeah, there is still some science to be researched right now, I guess, or some research to be done that is still in our queue here. It's gonna take 7 days, and I'm just gonna warp to completion for those two. Okay. So this is done now. We are gonna warp to the next morning while we're at it. Thank you. And there we go. Let's have a quick look into the tracking station, as we have still 2 of our probes out there. Of course, our very first satellite that we have sent out here, the Heimdall satellite, still doing his orbits around Kerbal, and of course Freya, sitting in this beautiful polar orbit here. However, these two won't get any new friends next to them, at least not yet. So I think the next mission I'm gonna send out is a orbiter to the moon, since I think we can do it. I think we have enough rocket parts and a solid system with the launch vehicles we have now that we can send something to the moon. We're not going to land yet, but we want to grab some valuable science from there, so this is going to be fun. Let's head into the R&D section and have a quick look. Okay, the next stuff we're going to get is a bit more expensive, so yeah, I guess this is something we're gonna work for, especially the propulsion systems here and maybe some heavy rocketry. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's some stuff I want, especially flight control. I don't have any RCS apart from the RCS Anywhere port yet. And a proper RCS system, I think, is necessary for a good lander. So let's start out. So we do have 2 probe bodies. Let's quickly have a look at them. We have 3 actually, but this one is more of a lander core, I guess. I wouldn't use that for a orbiter necessarily, at least not yet. Yeah. So, which one of these 2 we're gonna take is the good question. We just finished a bit, so let's see if we have any additional science. We do have magnometer. We do have some science, so I guess it's already valuable to send out an orbiter, since I think we can gather some really nice data from there. So let's do this. I like that probe body quite a lot that we have here. Oh yeah. Oh, this is so cool. I love these parts. These are from the Probes Plus pack, and they are just amazing. Of course, want to look that they kind of fit at least. But laser altimeter. Oh. I'd rather do this one though. Okay, this looks a bit weird, I guess. Hang on, this one is smaller, right? Because these are essentially the same. Yeah, these are literally the same. Okay. Good. We definitely want some propulsion on this one. Oh, these are all the same. Ah, right. Let's see. What do I have for electricals right now? I do have some solar panels. These ones are quite nifty. I hope they rotate, because if they do, these would do quite nicely. So they could just plonk down and be there. That's pretty cool. Of course, these are all new parts, so there's a potential that they could fail, and this is a real danger, of course. Since the only solar panels we use so far are these, I think, which have a rating of 4 right now already. These are not rated, they are still on level 1 rating. Of course, this is our part failure mod, so these could potentially fail if they... this is something I have to think about. But let's check. This probe body does have electric charge, but not much. What I want to do, if I already send out a probe over there, of course, I want to equip it with a antenna, preferably a relay antenna, because if I'm going to send out the next mission over there, and I already have an antenna in orbit which does have a relay functionality, it could potentially help us not needing to send at least another probe right away to get some communication coverage over there. Now the question is, if I take this one, because this is the smallest relay antenna I have right now, it's not gonna have a lot of power. It does have 2.5 m range. Is this enough if I send it out? Well, I mean, should be enough if I read that correctly. These are, I think, megameters. I'm not sure. So, well, I mean, hang on. If we, no, there's a, and we do have this one, but I don't like the looks of this. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna trust my guts on this one. This does this have a, yeah, it does have torque, so it does have reaction wheels. So I don't need additional reaction wheels. We got these fancy ones here. Also from the Probes Plus pack, but yeah, I don't think that we're gonna send out more with that. Okay, I got retro rockets from, ooh, these are pretty nice. Whew, looks cool. Okay, this is from the top, bottom, okay. I think I'm gonna take this monoprop engine or the Ant. One of these is gonna be the engine that's gonna propel this, because I have fuel tanks that I could use. I'm just building this here right now. It's gonna take a bit longer, but I think we'll be fine. So this needs to be a bit smaller in diameter, but a bit bigger, like this, and way shorter. And so it still holds some delta V. Does hold about 2000 meters per second like this, which is not bad. It's actually not bad. However, there's another way I could do it. Wow, that looks bad though. But that holds 3000 meters per second. Like, sure, if we add some more parts to it, it's gonna get a lot heavier, so we're gonna reduce the delta V count. But I plan to use a transfer stage which will get this probe out to the moon. This will do the small correction and then finish the insertion burn. Oh, I have procedural RCS tanks as well, so, and this does have no RCS inside, but it doesn't really need some because it does have reaction wheels. So this is really just a question of what I want to do here. Let's do it like this. Let's use this probe body with this fuel tank. I'm gonna use a dark ray. Yeah, that dark ray looks kind of nice, I think. Let's make it a bit smaller. Like this. Well, we're cutting into our delta V here right now, but like I said, I shouldn't be too concerned about this, since this is literally just gonna finish up the insertion burn. Or do the insertion burn, and the rest is gonna be done with the transfer stage. So I want this to be rather small, actually. This doesn't look that great, to be honest, if we look down here. I'm more concerned about looks right now. I don't know why, but I like my rockets to look good. And right now this is not too bad, I guess. But oh, I have the puck engine actually. Let's have a look. If I add this one, I can't. I cannot change the size of this. I could change the size of this, since I do have tweak scale. That doesn't change a lot though, and I think that looks rather hideous. Do I have any parts in structural that could cover this up? I do have one part that could potentially make this look quite a lot better. Let's see. And then we can do it like that. Yep, I think this is much better. Okay. We need science. Of course we need science. And batteries. Two things. Science and batteries. Electrical first. We have electric charge with the solar panels, but we need some stored charge, because if we transmit data, this is gonna go down very quickly. I think the bottom part here is very, very good to attach some batteries. So let's have a look. What do we have? These are fuel cells. I do have the Landvermesser batteries. Potentially do something like that. Or the standard batteries, which look ugly. Yeah, they do look ugly, and this one looks ugly as well. So I'm gonna stick with these, I guess, and I'm gonna attach them like that, and gonna move up the solar panel a bit here, and maybe not put 6 on, because yeah, it's not necessary. Okay, so if we extend this, it doesn't hit into anything. So this is pretty good. We got solar panels and electric charge. We don't have much electric charge, but I guess if we have 55 on each, this should be fine. It should be a couple hundred electric charge, which should be replenished quite well. So next up we need the antenna that I spoke of, and for the top here I also think there is a structural part that I need to just make it look better. Let's do it like that. Actually, let's just do it like that. It looks Oh, well, I mean, why haven't I thought about that? Actually, I could do something quite different. Instead of these batteries, and instead of a lot of this stuff, I could just use a procedural battery, especially since my procedural battery is already tested. I have flown this a couple of times, so this should be okay. 790 and 250. Let's see, 790, 250. Should fit quite nicely together. Yeah. And I can do the same texture here, dark gray tank. Or, oh, actually, oh, this looks good. Dark gray panel. Or light gray panel, maybe. I do have light gray panel. might fit a bit better with the things on the top and bottom. Yeah, let's do it like that. Much better. Let's get this in a bit. Get it snug on there, and this in a tiny bit. Okay. And then let's put these ones in the center. Okay, if I open this up, flump. Yep, that looks pretty good. So we put this one on the top for our communications. Now this doesn't have a lot, but it should be enough to get us out there. And science is of course important, but I think science, right. We're gonna stick on the thermometer. Let's put it like here. Fits nicely next to that panel. The barometer. I'm putting on 2 each. This is not necessary. And seismometer doesn't really make any sense in flight. But hell, why not? Doesn't really matter. This one though. Let's change this to local and get this in a bit. That sticks out like a lot. Okay. Now, magnometer. Which one do I take here? Tempted to take this one, since this is a nice long boom, and if I attach it like that, it will probably still fit into my stage. Yeah. Okay, close this panel. And I need... Can I bring this orbital telescope? Because of course it's cool and stuff, but would look much better on there. Hang on. I know some people consider this shitty, and it does look ugly, so I won't do it. But I don't mind clipping parts, to be honest. I mean, not excessively, but if it fits, you know, it's not that bad, is it? Okay, so we got, I think, each type of science we can do. Got a barometer, and we have the much better one, a much better looking one. We do have a thermometer, got the better looking one as well. We have a magnometer, and just making sure. Oh, this just has the science switch, right? The texture switch, yeah, okay. So this is the same. And we have a... This is also the same, I think. No, I mean, this is the same, I think. This does have a much wider field of view, though. Maybe this one is much better to take with us for this mission. Let's see. Hi, septic slime. If I take this one with me, I can take some more science here, and it doesn't collide. It does collide a bit, but it shouldn't collide if it's if it's expanded. So I'm just gonna ignore it. Okay, we're gonna take these science experiments, and we do have the communications antenna. That should be hopefully enough. And I'm just gonna take another basic antenna with me, because I really am not sure if my calculations for antenna range are correct here. So I'd rather have a bit more, because if you take more of you, they will add to each other. And at least I'll have direct communications, if not relay. Because this 5M rated one, that will actually get to the moon and back, I know that. Not sure, however, about the other one. Let's take 3 and 2 antenna, like down below here, I guess. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. They can extend out, making sure nothing is hitting each other. They can extend out. This can open up, and this can deploy. And this is the probe I'm gonna send out to the moon. It does have 800 meters per second. Now, in theory, 800 meters per second, now let me do my quick math here, should be enough to circularize at the moon. I think, hopefully. I'm just gonna try it. I mean, we cannot... What am I saying? Of course we can test it. No, we do have the testing mod, right? But this testing mod will allow us to set an orbit around a body. However, it will not allow us to actually be orbiting or flying through the SOI without capturing. So it will automatically set us into orbit. So I guess I'm gonna have to just hope that my calculations are right. And of course I need a name for this probe. So far my probes have been named after gods from the Nordic mythology, but also Asgards. And I think I'm gonna stick with the Asgardians from Stargate, by the way, not from any Marvel stuff or so. And please no spoilers, thank you. I haven't watched the movie yet. Let's do... We had Freya, we had Heimdall. Let's do Loki. This is Loki. This is the Loki probe to the moon. Save it. And since we already do have a working launcher, we're just going to use the Anubis launcher that we developed to launch this to the moon. Of course, I think for this one we need a transfer stage. But I don't see any problems in developing one for this. I'm going to use the decoupler shroud here to make this look a bit better. Between the decoupler and the probe. Much better. I love this mod. And let's save this for once and open up the Anubis launch vehicle, of course, and merge. Here we go. Does this fit inside the fairing? It does. That's perfect. So I'm gonna keep the fairing where it is, and I'm just gonna put the fairing on first of all. Or no, I'm just gonna move it for now. And I'm gonna think about what I do with the transfer stage here, because I need it. Let's have a quick look into the fuel tanks. I don't have fuel lines right now, because I think version 2 of this launch vehicle, which is based on the Soyuz, of course, is gonna have asparagus style staging, which means the tanks will feed into the center core, and I'm gonna separate 2 of them first and then the second 2, and it's gonna be a bit different from what we're doing right now with this launch vehicle. Transfer stage is gonna be attached there, I think. Yep. Okay. This is not gonna be a large transfer stage, and I think if I'm gonna use the Terrier, that will be fine in terms of size and power for it. And let's see, if I take this fuel tank, Grand Orange, of course, because yay, that's 3000 meters per second only on that transfer stage. That is quite a lot, actually. So it might be even enough to finish that transfer burn. So I might actually take a smaller tank. Did I have this one? I guess I did. Because I need some RCS as well. on this at least, because I only have reaction wheels on the top portion here, and the reaction wheels will be rather weak. So either I'm going to attach some reaction wheels, or I'm going to use beautiful place anywhere RCS ports. So I'm going to do that, and that will give me rotational control at least to turn over the rocket, at least the stage. And now I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do some RCS here, because these RCS tanks are ugly. Let's just do a small RCS tank up here, which will be in the same kind of color scheme here, and about the same size actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gonna keep it like that. And I need a decoupler, of course, between here and there. This one is also decoupler shroudy, and I'm gonna disable the shroud of the engine. Change the texture to dark gray and stripe. Let's do this one. And shroud size should be a bit different. Change the thickness a bit. The top one should be like 124, 23, 24, yeah. And the height is already correct. Okay. That's pretty much it. This is going to be attached to this. So this should be able to take us to the moon. This should be able to finish up the insertion burn. And this should be able to get us up into orbit. And then I'm just going to take all of this, put it down a bit, check if it's actually on the right height. And I feel kind of confident that nothing's going to break on the Anubis stage. However, the Terrier engine is brand new, so let's hope it doesn't. So up here, it's pretty much all brand new parts I have never used. There is quite a huge potential of terrible, terrible failure. Let's just hope it's not happening. Also, I need to put some extra radius on here, because I think there was a part clipping and I don't want to have my fairing rip off anything. And let's get on with the payload fairing. And actually, hang on. Yeah, payload fairing and payload fairing conic. Yep, I'm gonna take this one, and this is ugly. Let's do keep that, but fairing base, and also this is not really aerodynamic, I guess. Let's change this up a bit. This bottom a bit fatter. And the nose a bit more smooth. Okay, this should be okay. So, check our staging. This is set to, first of all, this doesn't make any sense right now. It just has put everything jumbled in all the stages. So first of all, we're gonna shoot off this engine, whatever engine this is, that I cannot. Oh, this is this engine. Okay. Okay, add this to another one. This is staging event, which will decouple these. This needs to be the third. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct, and this is correct. Okay, then we will release the launch clamps, we will separate the side boosters, then we will decouple the first stage from the second stage. We will ignite the second stage engine. We will deploy the fairings. We will deploy the payload, and the payload will fire off its beautiful little tiny thruster, which hopefully gets us into orbit. So this should be actually able to get into the moon sphere of influence and actually get us into a orbit around the moon. And looking at it, it looks quite good. However, it's going to take 19 days, 3 hours, 6 minutes, and 33 seconds, of course, to build. So I'm just going to put it up into my build queue here, and this is going to be built in 19 days. In the meantime, because I do think I have some science that I haven't done yet at Kerbal, or is there... No, I haven't added any science actually since... Maybe the seismometer. A seismic accelerometer. I don't know if I have that science already. Let's check. If I don't, I'm gonna send up a sounding rocket and collect this data. Of course, let's look into the archives here, and seismic scan from the launch pad. We do have that. Review. Okay, so it's just from the launch pad. I'm just gonna grab that, and I don't know if there's any seismic data to be gathered from launching a sounding rocket, but let's just do it. We're gonna use the Apophis 5, of course, for that. And this is still gonna be built, and I do have that latest version here of our little sounding rocket. Yeah, it's small, it's tiny, it's beautiful. And yep, there is no seismic experiment on that yet, so I guess I haven't done that scan yet. Let's take this experiment here and figure out a way to place it inside here first of all. Like that? Is that okay? That is okay. Okay, close up the lid. We know we can return it, so this will save us some money if we return it. And this is only going to take 6 days to build, so we will have something to launch before we send out our probe to the moon. Checking the staging first. This looks still good, this is still good, this is still good, this also, and this. So this can go also to the building list. And we're gonna save this one. And now we're gonna go, oops, that's the wrong button. Of course, we're gonna go here and we're gonna warp to completion of the building. Yep, that's so we are 50% finished on the Loki right now, and the Apophis is finished now, so we can roll it out. It's gonna take another 8 hours, 8 minutes to complete only, and I'm not a big fan of launches at night, so I'm just gonna warp forward a day. And then we're gonna launch this and hopefully get it into space, collect some more science data, return it, and see if we can launch something to the moon afterwards. Let's go to the launch pad. I adjusted my volumes a bit. I hope that I'm clearly here, that you can hear me clearly, and that the sound of the rockets this time is not as excessively loud as it was last time. Okay, so we have the seismic scan here from the launch pad at least. So I'm not sure if we already have it, but let's just actually just transmit that one. Oh, doesn't that have? I'm pretty sure this does have antennae. Okay. Well, this is a problem. Let's just launch. Oh, maybe it can't see the... maybe it doesn't have a connection because it's weird angles and line of sight. I don't know. Let's just launch. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, launch. Sounds much better, I think. Okay. Tipping over a bit to the right. Of course, this... Okay, why am... okay, I don't even need to accelerate here since it's a solid rocket booster, or 2 solid rocket booster. But, I mean, you know. Let's just see. Getting into a nice trajectory here. And I don't get any signs here now. Messages? Oh, I do have attention. Okay, I don't have a... Yeah, so I have to go back to the drawing board with this one, since it seems like I cannot communicate with the ground stations with the antennae I do have on this vessel. I was thinking I had few of them. Anyway, let's launch the next stage here. There seems to be a problem with procedural parts here. Hello, Annihilator YouTube, I guess. Welcome. So this part is red for some reason, but I mean, doesn't really matter. I mean, procedural parts are just so good, I don't mind. Okay, our apoapsis is only at 22 kilometers right now, and we're approaching the apoapsis quite quickly. So this might not even get into space, but yeah, doesn't really matter because you don't seem to have any. Yes, I am German. Hi, hello, and it's a German name, yeah. Since we don't have a antenna here that is able to communicate with the ground station, so that is stupid. What I will do after we landed this rocket, of course, I'm gonna just quickly go into the VAB and do a quick updated version of this rocket. Of course, this is quite the re-entry heat here, and I cannot separate yet. I do have a heat shield on the back, so if it lets me... If it stops accelerating me, this is not good. This is absolutely not good. Yeah. Oof. Thank you. And disarm this parachute, because this should not be armed yet. Okay. Whew. That was fairly close, because that parachute got hot. It got hot. Okay. Yeah, so me being unable to transmit any data means I can collect the data only via recovery right now. Now I do have some antennae in here, it's 2. Oh, these need to be deployed. Oh. That is weird. Okay, I should change them up. Definitely should change them up. But let's just transmit the data. Don't mind that antenna just quickly peeking through here, and that killed all my electric charge. Oopsie daisy. Oh yeah, I don't have much electric charge on that stage, so I cannot okay, I can still arm the parachute, so I don't care, I guess. However, I'm quite far up. Oh god, this is going absolutely wrong. Terrible. Ah, cool. Ja, freut mich, dass du hier bist. But I hope I'm slow enough. Sometimes I may stream in German, but I might try to stick to English for now. I don't know. There's not a big audience for KSP in German. Okay, so let's close up the... Oh no, I cannot even close it up. Okay, let's just time warp through this. This is gonna be... At least it's not gonna snap the parachute, since we're already going fairly slow. But, I don't know. Maybe we should just go to the moon. This is... these sounding rockets seem not to be my kind of thing. But I kind of want to be using these every now and then because I can test my parts and develop, of course, some reliability on these. Because OhSnap will eventually kill them if I don't test my parts before I send them out into space. And I don't want that to happen. So, 4 times time warp, and it's still gonna take quite a lot of time. Wow. At least we got it back. I guess this is gonna be like 10 signs or so I will recover, I hope, which is pretty good. Which mods are not working for you? None of the mods, or just a few? Because remember, there was an update to 1.4.3, and that might have corrupted some mods which are not able to work right now. Let's recover this vessel and let's see if we do have gained some signs that we recovered. And we did 11 signs actually. That's not bad. Let's go back into the VAB and quickly fix up that antenna issue here. And there's, for some reason, weird glitch happening here sometimes. I don't know. Okay. Okay. This is... Open this up and let's go into the menu here. These are the antenna that are looking a bit weird. Actually, if I could take that one antenna and just do like this, it wouldn't be poking out, so I could just deploy it like that. Now this looks stupid, so I'm not gonna do it. God, this is awful. I just want a small antenna. This is an Omni antenna? Is this a small antenna, or does this need to be extended? No, this is a small antenna. I'm just going to use this one then. Hell yeah. Okay, and turn this around. Stick it in there. And smash it in there. Right. Good. And close this up and save this rocket. And we're not gonna launch another one of these, since, I don't know. At least not now. It's cool looking though. I like these sounding rockets. Very, very cool. Let's go back to our main window here and warp to completion of the Loki probe and send the Loki probe out to the moon. Yeah, I might stream some other games, maybe some Planetco. Planet Coaster, that is, or Hearts of Iron, which are the games I usually play. I do sometimes play PUBG, however I'm very bad at it, so nobody would like to watch that. Same with Dota. I don't know, maybe there's some games that I might stream eventually. Okay, it's already getting night here, and our probe is gonna be finished. Or at least our rocket, but I'll have to roll it out, so I hope it's day by then. Okay, thank you. Look at the VAB and roll that out. 3 hours, warp to completion. That should put us at night again, I think. Actually, nope, it's day. It's pretty good. Okay, we're gonna launch it right away, I guess, because it's day, and I want to catch that day window here. I do know Planetary Annihilation. I don't have that game, but from the looks of it, it looks pretty cool. Let's go to the launch pad here and have a look. I think if we send this probe to the moon successfully, now, this is an orbiter, right? Of course, what comes after an orbiter is a lander, and I think that if this is a success, we're gonna send the next probe that we're gonna send is a lander probe to the surface of the moon. So, engaged SAS, throttle up. Open our fuel panels here. Check the staging one more time, because always check your staging. That looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. Ah, cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, G2A is pretty nice sometimes, but I think that game was on sale also on Humble a few weeks back. Okay, here we go. We're gonna launch in 3, 2, 1, go. And of course, let's hope that we don't have any launch failures from our part failure mod here. Start pitching over, of course. We do have the SAS only for stability assist, so yeah, I can't even... I need some more probe cores here, especially for my general rockets. Okay, let's go. Fuel tanks looking good, no part failures so far, and I'm really anxious because the upper stages do have some parts that could potentially fail, and I'm going supersonic already, and I lose a lot due to aerodynamic drag right now. Should have throttled down a bit earlier there. Seems like, oh yeah, we got a thrust upgrade on our engines. Oops, didn't think about that. That might be a bit of a problem here. Oh, that Korolev cross though. Beautiful. We got a... Let's go to 100-kilometer apoapsis, if possible. And get some vertical, horizontal velocity here. Okay. Have a quick look into the map mode here. Yep, we're going to the moon, which is... it's not too bad in terms of the way it is right now. And I may want to do this and this. Could have staged them, but I didn't feel competent to do it right now, because that would probably have done some weird staging right there. Yep. Okay, let's decouple. Decouple. That was weird. It did happen. That did work. Okay. Oh, we have a fuel leak. We have a fuel leak. Ooh, no, we have a fuel leak. Does it leak fuel? Oh, it does. Uh-oh. This is bad. This is bad. Can I... No, I have to try something radical here. If I add a maneuver here, can I do a... Can I do some kind of maneuver that will get this probe right to the moon? I have to figure something out here. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. God, no, god, oh god. And I'm pulling on something that I want. Oh, I did have some encounter there, I think. Ooh. Yeah. No, that was one. Oh, I guess that was already past me. Ooh, damn it. Uh-oh. Think that is failure, I guess. A very first failure. Well, not the first failure, but like first failure in terms of sending out a mission somewhere that has resulted us in being a bit stupid. Because I'm not gonna make it with the fuel I have right now. So I could have started a direct insertion burn earlier, or direct ascent. So I'm just gonna try to circularize here. Add maneuver, circularize. Thank you. Okay. Let's see if we can somehow manage to save this. I don't think so, but I don't know. And worst case, we're gonna keep this in orbit. Okay. Here we go, accelerating. We're losing some liquid fuel here, which is not good. This fuel line leak is really bad. We're gonna run out of... Oh, actually, it might just be these tanks that are leaking. Because there's a small fuel tank on the Terrier engine on the one I have here. Okay, we got a circular orbit for now. Let's hope I'm right, but I don't think I am. Okay, there's the moon. So we're on maybe some tips if you want to get to the moon and you're in a parking orbit around Kerbin. What you want to do is roughly look where the moon is and put a marker right here, so it's pretty much on line with the moon. And then you want to accelerate this way. So if I accelerate outwards, I should get a moon encounter. Hey, I do. Fantastic. Let's just figure out a way to make this encounter efficient and quick. And of course, I'm gonna try to get an encounter that will actually collide for now. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Can I improve this anymore? Yeah. I want it as close to me as possible, since I'm gonna be out of fuel if I'm not careful. But let's go to the view first of all and extend the solar panels, because I'm gonna run out of electric charge if I accidentally don't pay attention and go on the dark side of Kerbin. Here. Warp here and hope that I'm right. 40-second burn. Liquid fuel does leak, but oh, it does leak. Oh gosh. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Okay. I do have 400 meters per second left for now. And one solar panel, by the way, failed, which is great, but who cares? And I need the RCS here. And I'm gonna go to the... Ooh, oh no, ooh. Did I forget? I do have another failure there. Of course, an RCS has failed me as well. I'm gonna have a... Oh, actually, I need to burn in 10 seconds. And I do still have a bit of Delta V. Did that actually deplete this fuel tank as well? No, it didn't. Okay. That's it. Yeah, I don't have enough fuel to do that. Damn it. Uh-oh. You're playing Planetary Annihilation with your friend. You don't want, salty he got when you built the Death Star and destroy all his planet. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, so what just happened? We do have a faulty solar array. We do have a completely messed up stage here that completely ruined everything. And we have a probe that's pretty much useless. Well, I mean, it's not useless since it's a... No, it is useless. I feel it's useless. I'm gonna deorbit this. I don't want to take this anymore. I'm gonna deorbit this and we're gonna build another one, and this is gonna be a success. Ah, this is so... This hurts. Goodbye, little probe. I hope you crash into that stupid stage. No, you don't. Ah. That stupid stage killed me. It did. Just want to see this burn up in the atmosphere here. Ah. Since this has no science experiments at all, and I don't want to clutter up my nice low carbon orbit here, because it's gonna be cluttered up by the end of the science play anyway. Let's bring this down and see. Here we go. By the first probe. You did not do as well. Actually, it's not your fault. And this has a part failure. I can repair parts. Why could I repair that part? I might have been able to repair the other part as well. Well, that's stupid. Let's see. Well, that was anyway, let's just watch this burn up. Oh, by the way, this is kind of looking like a TIE fighter. Was it a TIE fighter that has these weird wings? Anyway, looks quite cool. This might not even burn up. This might even impact. Just add some delta V to it. Go faster! You must go faster! Yeah! Jawohl. Ah! There we go, something broke. That's very good. Let's extend all antenna. Yeah, doesn't matter. Just extend it. Woo. Okay, this is for everyone wondering why I'm doing this. This probe basically failed. Actually, not the probe, but the rocket. So I will have to send another one. However, this doesn't have any science that I need in low carbon orbit, so it would just clutter up my my low carbon orbit, and I could destroy it via the tracking station. However, there is really no point doing this. So I just deorbited it because I like explosions. Whew. And we got a nice explosion there that we could have a look at. So go back and fix it, please. Let's build another one of these. Thank God we're not playing in career mode, but in science mode, and science mode doesn't matter. In this case, what we actually destroy or not. But I have noticed that if I have these, I should be able to fully rotate, shouldn't I? I should, okay. Well, that is strange. Maybe something broke earlier. Okay, we got the construction building right here. Okay, now, while this is building, I think what I could do is, of course, I could build another engine test stand, which I will do because I want to test out some more engines and build up reliability. I couldn't care less about this one, actually. Yeah, I want the Terrier to be on there. I want of course I want that to be on there because this is like the main engine I'm gonna use together for now with the other, with the two. Well, basically the parts to make a beautiful, beautiful Soyuz style rocket. So I'm gonna keep this. Gonna have this on there, okay. Maybe this, I don't know. Put on some verniers. Just have them all fire up to build up some reliability here. I guess this could be something we can do. Just making sure that they all take liquid fuel and oxygen, because that's all I have. This is a solid rocket motor. Well, I mean, you could just fire it anyway. I don't know. Let's just do it like that. It's gonna take 6 days to build. Here we go. And we save this. Hello, Mini Lan, I guess. I'm sorry, but I don't speak Russian, so if you would send that in English again, I might be able to respond. Here we go. Warping to reconditioning of the launch pad. That's taking quite a while, isn't it? Warp to complete of the Loki probe. Second one of these. I hope this time it is working fine. If it's not working fine, we are in big trouble, because we are sending the same probe over and over again without getting successes. And we don't want that to happen. In the meantime, I just got some science. Let's just quickly have a look here. Could get enhanced survivability, which will get us our first few command pods. But who needs command pods if you can play with unmanned probes, which are way cooler instead of killing innocent Kerbals? So, airplane pods, I don't care about. General construction, we got the top soil scoop, which I kind of want. But the rest of this is super useless. One Goga, I guess. Space exploration, this is all more expensive, so stuff, I don't need that. God, am I really gonna buy this part, this whole node just for that one part for now? It's science, so science is good. I love science, but this would really would give us struts. However, I'm playing with Kerbal joint reinforcement, so I don't really need struts. And playing the gosh, it might really force me to get this one. But you know what? I'm just gonna hold on to my science. I'm just gonna hold on to it. We're now gonna launch the Loki probe in 5 days. Let's quickly warp to completion to the moon. It's an orbiter probe, and I'll be damned if we can't get to the moon now, because that earlier launch here with part failures, that was quite ridiculous. We had pretty much an RCS port that failed us. We had a fuel tank that failed us. We had a solar panel that failed us. And I apparently built 2 Loki probes. Well, that's cool. I guess I'm gonna send 2 then. No, I'm just gonna keep it in storage. I mean, I can send it later. Let's warp to completion here. Okay. Here we go. Woohoo! Why do I have 2 though? I must have clicked twice. Well, I guess we're playing science mode, by the way, so it doesn't cost me any money. But we need science though, and let's warp to the next day, because night launches are crap for you, because you wouldn't be able to see anything. Look at that beautiful sunrise here. Let's go to the launch pad and hope that nothing breaks, like it seems to do every damn time. Greetings to Russia, and welcome. Speaking of Russia, welcome to my Soyuz-inspired rocket. Of course, we call it the Soyuz here on Kerbin. Anubis, I'm sorry, the Anubis here on Kerbin. Of course, it's slightly inspired just from the Soyuz. Very, very beautiful rocket here. SAS on, full throttle, resource panel on, and fire, no breakage, and release launch clamps. Here we go, lift off. 50 meters per second. Now let's do it at 70 and start pitching over a bit. This time I'm gonna keep note that we will reach supersonic speed and max Q quite early, so I do not want to basically lose too much delta V due to aerodynamic drag. Man, that is a word I simply cannot say. And here we go. We're hitting aerodynamic drag here, which I need to be careful about. And we're at an apoapsis of 16, 17, 19, 20 kilometers, so kind of want to keep my angle like this for a while. This is quite a lot of mods actually, and the rocket is built with the parts from the Making History expansion. that just came out a few weeks ago. And I'm using quite a lot of mods, especially visual mods and part mods and construction time, and this is a heavily modded install here that I'm playing with. So yeah, I might do a full parts list here soon, mod list eventually, but not for now. We are at about 100 kilometers of apoapsis. Let's get some horizontal velocity, deploy the fairings. Let's hope they don't hit anything. They didn't. Great. And we're gonna get a nice orbit this time. Damn you. Please don't fail this time. There we go. Goodbye. Stage and ignition. Please don't fail. Oh, it didn't fail. Okay. Okay, everything's good. Let's go. Nothing broke. Everything's good. We do have a few. We do have some time. Quite a lot of time to apoapsis. So add the maneuver at apoapsis. This is precise maneuver, by the way. And circularize, first of all. This will take 6 goddamn 100 meters per second. Damn you. Wow, that's a lot. Anyway, we're just gonna take it. And as it happens, we're almost already on the marker here. We're gonna extend the panels. Just in case. Extend the panels. This is our little probe that we're gonna send to the moon. We're gonna extend the antenna. Actually, we only extend this antenna, since the antenna from the bottom is not, is not yet. I don't think the two antenna from the bottom are clear. So 33-second burn. We do have plenty of delta V, so we still should have enough delta V to do a translunar injection and then finish up the burn with our trusty little probe here. And I'm just gonna warp a bit forward. We need to burn at about 21 seconds. Well, I mean, or 8 seconds. I mean, who cares? Yeah, this is something that might happen a bit more often when you see me play, because I'm a bit overeager with the time warp. But we do have quite enough apoapsis height here to not fall back into the atmosphere. And this is looking good. Getting our orbit completed here in a few seconds. I'm gonna throttle down a bit. And 3, 2, 1, and there we go. That is pretty good orbit, I guess. Yeah, it's not perfectly round, but yeah. Potato, potato. Let's have a look where the moon is. The moon is here, so we want... Actually, we could burn right away. Let me see. The moon has a good... This could be actually work. Potentially could get us to the moon. No, it won't. Because, oh, we're already past no T. Okay. Well, in that case, let's see. This is a moon encounter. We need a moon encounter that is... Actually, we want not an encounter, but rather an impact right now for getting rid of our stage. This goddamn stage needs to go. Wow, that is a funky ass orbit. Okay, let's go set as target, focus view. and see what happens if I go a bit on the prograde here, because that should flip my orbit around in 3, 2, 1. Should get me on the right side of the moon, and let's set it like this, and I can do a mid-course adjustment to get the apoapsis to the right height. And for some reason I am in a very, very inclined orbit here. However that happened, I guess I'm not gonna find out. Well, I guess I'll take it. It doesn't matter. Actually, I kind of want to go into a polar orbit with it later on. Anyway, and it's gonna take probably another 300 to 400 meters per second to circularize that orbit later on. So, want to keep that in mind. But that's why we're gonna go like this, probably, I guess. Well, I don't know. Let's just do it like that, and we do have 33 seconds to 33 minutes and 46 seconds, so that's 23 seconds for the burn. 23 seconds before when we should burn. Now this is always getting a bit messy here. God, I hate this, but we're gonna warp here. Here we go. Okay. Again, guys, I don't speak Russian, so I won't be able to respond. Oh, and I missed my note. Almost missed my note here. Oh, that was close. Got it though. And we can just burn towards the node. Try to keep it on the node marker here. And once we arrive at the moon, hopefully, we will be able to circularize. And one thing I didn't really think about is that we will arrive at the dark side of the moon, which potentially we won't have any control over our probe. Well, I mean, let's see. Ooh, that was still okay. Yeah, we're on a crash course. Let's take this and we are just gonna have a quick look. That looks pretty good. And we do have a part failure, which is terrible. What has failed here? Part failures here. Worst part. Highlight worst part. I don't need highlight. Repair. 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 I have no idea what has actually failed. It's operational. The wheels are operational, I guess. Something failed. I guess we won't know which part failed. Yeah, the graphics are very beautiful. If you have a look down in the description, you'll see which visual mods I do use. It's quite a few, but it's definitely worth it. And they don't really impact my performance that much. Let's decouple this, and goodbye stage, you have fared as well. And even though we do have a part failure, I do hope it is not anything serious that will prevent us from... This part is beyond repair. Well, let's just hope it's something stupid and we still can do this. And why is there a mech chap enabled? I don't need a mech chap. Get away, mech chap. You are the evil. And that might have kicked us into a nice orbit here. Okay, so this is gonna be the dark side of the moon, where I won't be able to circularize. So I need to circularize here. It will take about 300 meters per second and will give us a nice circular orbit. I'm just gonna need to like think about where I do have coverage with my antenna. Let's reverse, take off the throttle, ignite the engine just in case, turn towards our maneuver node here, and once we are on the maneuver node, we are gonna warp forward. Let's warp to next maneuver. No, warp to SOI change first. So, haha, we're going over to meet the moon. Goodbye, Kerbin, for now. Hello, dear moon. By the way, this is another planet you can see, and this is Duna. Over there, this is Duna, the little red dot here. And this is Distant Object Enhancement, what makes this possible to actually see the little dots. Very, very cool mod. But, of course, we're looking for the moon here. The moon is behind us, so... Oh, there it is. Hello, moon. All of the mods I use you can find on the KSP forums, and if you have a quick go over there, also there is a actually, hang on, stop warping. I do have some science to transmit. Hello, science. Ooh. So, good things first. We are still able to transmit science. So even though we do have a broken part on this, it doesn't seem to impact us that badly. Thank God. And let's warp closer. And I probably missed some science there, but who cares? Warp here. And now we're out of transmission range, and we do not have any probe control since I turned on the beautiful ComNet, which is in the game. So I can't do any maneuvers back here until I do have some kind of satellite that will relay the data from here to Kerbin. Okay, warp here. We have a 84-second burn here. This is gonna be quite interesting. Gonna have to watch this. So this is a 42-second before and after. So this is almost there. Let's see. Look at that. That moon is beaut. Of course, this is not the standard texture pack. This is using the KSRPC, I think, textures, which make the game just so beautiful. The visual mods I use are AstronomersVisualPack, Scatterer, Eve, Distant Object Enhancements, and much, much more. If you want to find any mods, you either can look at SpaceDock or at the Kerbal forums, the official Kerbal Space Program forums, where you will find many really good mods. All of which I use in this game are from there, and all of them are just so good. I think every one of these mod makers deserves a huge thank you, since they make this game what it is. And this game stock is fantastic, but with mods it just gets so much better. Even it looks better, it works better, it has so much more gameplay elements, especially the part failures I use, the visual enhancements, the construction timers. I do use a different tech tree than the standard tech tree. For the very, very good reason that I think that the standard tech tree doesn't make any sense. Why would you send up Kerbals here first, before you send this kind of probe? Right. Let's throttle down, since we are almost at our desired velocity. Get back here. Oh, here we go. And we should be in orbit. Here we go. Oh, beautiful. And the antenna is enough. We are in orbit around the moon. With a decent circular orbit. I mean, sure, there's 1 kilometer difference between apoapsis and periapsis, but overall, in general, that's pretty good. And I don't think that there's any more science, though. I seem to have transmitted all the science. Let's just quickly warp here, if there's anything I missed. The main thing is we got some science, and the most important thing is this probe, due to its very, very useful relay antenna up here, will be able to provide me some communication, some further communication. And I do have 400 meters per second left, so what I might do, this is something I might think about here. If I add a maneuver node at apoapsis, I could flip that orbit up or down. And if I can get this orbit to be almost polar, this would provide me with a much better coverage. Of course, this is no way you should do it at all. Right? This is, I am doing something that you should never do, is changing your orbit while you're already in your pretty much finished orbit. At least your inclination. This is requiring quite a lot of delta V, and it is very inefficient. However, for me, it is a good option right now. This would bring my orbit to something like that, which also helps because then I have a relay satellite which always can transmit from here to Kerbin if the moon is blocking my view, which will be interesting later on if we are at Minmus and the planets are aligned in a way that Minmus is being blocked by the moon. However, this is something that should rarely happen. Anyway, I'm just gonna do it because I love it. Also, this should maybe get us above some more biomes. Let's go to the maneuver marker here and warp to here. Of course, the sound effects, by the way, you can hear are from the sound, the mod Shatterer, which adds Kerbal speaking and probe sound effects and all that kind of cool stuff that is really, really, really nice to hear. And looking at this, we need a 35 seconds before apoapsis and 35 after. So let's go. Don't want to warp too far this time. Actually, in this case, it doesn't really matter, but let's change our orbit. I want to be careful because this might change my periapsis a bit. Also, I kind of want to leave some delta V left in this satellite so I can do some adjustments later or maybe deorbit it. Which I don't intend to, but eventually maybe the space around the moon will get a bit crowded. So, yeah. As I said, don't do these kind of maneuvers. These kind of maneuvers are highly inefficient. They're highly stupid, but I have spare Delta V, so might as well do it. Try to get some more science out of this mission and improve my signal coverage around the moon. Okay, here we go. About to finish our burn. Here we go. 252, 251, perfect. Still good looking orbit. And what we're gonna do now is quickly time warp. If we see any more science, our nifty plugin here will tell me. Oh, there's some laggage. Okay. Seems like there is no more science to be gathered. Well, that's surprising. Ah, by the way, our engine test stand has completed work. That is my Kerbal alarm clock, of course, notifying me here. And thank you. I'm just gonna quickly warp a little bit longer around. Oh no. We have another failure. The only part why we brought this satellite here has failed. Why? Oh, why do you fail me? Oh god, this is terrible. I may just have a quick look, because this satellite might still be useful if I add a maneuver here and I want to deorbit it. I can't even deorbit it. Oh my god, no. Oh my god, no. I cannot even deorbit it. Oh god, oh god, oh god. That is bad. Well, if I want to deorbit it, if I have a seismic impact probe on here, which will be able to record seismic data, if I would be able to impact it, I would still be able to gather some more science from it. Good night to you on One Goga, and we'll see you around hopefully soon. Bye. Okay, so this was failure. Damn. However, eventually we're gonna send some missions out here, maybe collecting up this probe again. Let's go back to the Space Center. We'll leave it there for now. And looking at the Space Center, we do have a reconditioning of the launch pad, which will take another day. And we can roll out the engine test stand, which we quickly will do, because that will give us some more data about some engines. And yeah, I do have another Loki probe in storage. And I could send that to Minmis, in theory. Actually, I also could send it there in practice, since I do have enough Delta V. But here's the kicker. I think my antenna are too weak to do it. So this is quite a pickle here. What will we do here? I don't know. Let's go to the engine test and quickly fire that off while we think about it. This is really probably quite boring to watch this, so I'm just going to do it in the background while we think aloud. Since this is literally just gathering data about our engines. Hello, test stand. And have fun. Wow, wow, wow. Well, maybe it wasn't that boring after all. Remember what I said, check your staging. Well, I'm gonna revert that. I'm sorry. that was just whoopsie. Yeah. So, like I was saying, this was something that you should not do. Check your staging, of course, and throttle up, fire these engines, gather some scientific data about these engines while I scroll out a bit because it will be way too loud. Actually, let's have a quick look because I'm using real plume and these plumes are beautiful. Wow. Okay. You fire off your engines and yeah, so the second Loki probe could in theory go to the planet to the moon of Minmus, but thinking about it, I'm just gonna keep it in storage for now. It's not gonna get bad or anything. Actually, if we send more probes out that have the same parts or more rockets, it will actually get better. So maybe it doesn't fail me. But what I want to do, and I want to check quickly how much thrust this has. 150 now, okay. What I am able to do is send maybe another rocket to, yeah, well, if I land there I might have problems with transmission. However, I'm not gonna send a lander that will hop around basically. So we're gonna send a lander to the moon. It will land there and it will gather some more science. And after we did that, I think we'll see. But after we finish this very, very exciting engine test here, we're gonna have a quick look into our, thank you, let's recover this. We're gonna have a quick look into our research and development and quickly pick out the nodes we're gonna research because we have a bit of science. Oh, look at that, there's still smoke from the test. Beautiful. R&D building. And we're gonna gather either miniaturization, which will give us some quite cool things. It does give us a spectrometer. This is pretty cool. And this gives us more probe cores. Oh god, probe cores. So many probe cores. Oh, this is amazing. Electrics, what do we get there? Okay, this is for... This was for probes as well, batteries, more science. Technically, more science is always better. If we get more science, that would help us immensely. So this is something that I might look into to get here. And storage I really don't need right now. This is if we have planetary bases and stuff. Maybe the service bases are useful. Probably not. So this does have this cool experiment, the radio plasma wave data experiment, but we also get that here, radio plasma wave data. And this does give us more parts for command and control, service module, batteries, reaction wheels, thermal control, monoprops. Oh, that's cool. Extended battery banks, cooler looking batteries, certainly. These look way better than the stock batteries. More solar panels, communitron, and more communications. And oh, I'm gonna get either this. It says a small dish antenna, but no, I'm gonna get the electrics one. This is one science experiment, two science experiments. So this is probably the best choice here. And before we jump back into the VAB here, And before we will be building the next rocket in the VAB, we're just gonna look out here and basically have a quick break, a very quick break, about 5 minutes. And then we will be back and go for another go at the moon. And let's see how that will go. So you're gonna have some music now, and I'll be back in a few seconds, minutes. And I go here. This is very new for me, so please excuse myself. Okay, I'm back. We're gonna have a bit more fun here and build the next rocket or probe to send to the moon. This time we're gonna build a lander probe, of course. Let's go back to the live screen here and have a quick peek in here what we can build. Now I do have this very cool lander body, which I think I'm gonna use. This is the Landvermesser. Nice German name apparently. I like it though. It's a cool probe. Very cool probe actually. It does have the retractable landing gears and does carry some liquid fuel and oxidizer and electric charge, which itself is already fantastic. Because it carries this while also having reaction wheel, so this pretty much has everything we need already. If we retract the landing legs again, have a quick look into the, I think there was the, oh, this is also for the Landvermesser. Why, what is this? The solid main thrust necessary for the deorbit and landing deceleration features. Built-in decoupler, staging disabled by default, but can be shut down using solid save technology found scribbled on a net. Oh, it does have a shutdown. Okay, that's pretty cool. So this could be used for the orbiting. Now we could decouple this. And then we could bring it back. So we could deorbit with this and then use the lander engine, which we would attach. We do have 3 attachment points there for engines, which are at a bit weird points. It's there, there, and there. Okay. I think there are specific engines to go with this, which are these vernier engines, I guess. Yeah, these are the engines that are supposed to go with that lander. We mounted as a set of 3, fairly efficient early engine design. Okay, so this is the engine that we are supposed to use here. It does have plenty of fuel for it as well, so that's pretty cool because we don't need to add another engine then. Okay, that's pretty damn good. Let's add science. Whew. Science is good. Science, we will add definitely the landing site surveyor cam, since I think this is pretty cool to already have a quick look where we could potentially land. And this does have the site survey mode, so we'll have a look around and do some assessment of the situation where it is landed, and then we can decide if it's a valid landing spot, I guess. More science, of course. The barometer is definitely something we want to have on this. Even though the moon does not have an atmosphere, we don't know. I think that's a good part to pick up. And the thermometer, of course, cannot send a probe without it, really. And we're gonna attach this time, we're gonna take the seismometer, or seismic accelerometer, I guess, with us. I'm gonna try to attach it like here. And this will allow us to get impact probe science. So, if we were able to deorbit the other satellite we have there, we could, in theory, deorbit it and get the impact, and then this would be able to pick it up, I guess. But we will have to see about this. And if we move this over here, does it look good? I think that looked better. Yeah, let's keep it there. Okay. We do have the Science Junior, of course, but that is such a huge part that I don't feel like attaching it to here. And I don't have the landed science yet. Okay, now let's move this part first. Maybe move this over to the front of this. Yeah, let's move it like there. And let's turn this around. So this is pretty good. Okay. So this will be landing on the moon. What is this supposed to be though? I don't get it. These parts I can't get quite. What are these? These attached thingies here. I don't know. Maybe there's something that's supposed to go on there. Maybe that's for the science parts. Maybe that's for like the surface scoop or stuff like we don't have yet. So we're just gonna send this like that. And I'm not sure about the whole deorbit motor here. Because this would probably be better if we had a transfer stage, a proper transfer stage there. So that's what we're gonna have to do that part. We do have the landing engines, we do have this. I guess I know why they do have that motor there. Well, yes, so the reason they have that motor there is this only has about 900 delta V, so a soft landing, especially if you don't, if you are not careful, you might end up not having enough delta V to properly deorbit, to properly land then, if you use that engine for deorbiting as well. But this part is brand new for me. I have not used that. So I don't feel confident in sending this on a mission. However, the whole idea of using a solid rocket motor to deorbit is not bad. This does have around, what? Doesn't state here how much delta V it does have, does it? No, it does not. I guess, actually it did once. Hang on. It did state it earlier. Maybe it doesn't state it now. I have to guess this. Because I kind of want to build one with my own solid rocket boosters. It's pretty similar to that. Of course, I could go through the calculations right now and calculate it myself, or I could just have a quick look into MacJab, delta V stats. And MacJab is clever, and MacJab does know it. Okay, so it's about 280 delta V. That's pretty reasonable. I think that's something we could go for using our procedural solid rocket boosters, which are these fine things here. And if we change it to a vacuum, and then we change the diameter, of course, and the length to make it way smaller. And of course, we're gonna change the thrust, because that is quite hilarious. It's hilariously large here. Okay, and 10 is about right. It gives us close, but no cigar. Let's do like 140 maybe, or 150-ish. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do it like that. That should give us enough delta V to deorbit later on, once we are there. And enough delta V to deorbit without crashing, of course. Or doing weird things to our orbit. Okay, so this is of course a probe, and we established that we are gonna name probes after Asgards, but of course this is a lander probe, so I do have the idea that I might name lander probes differently. I have Heimdall, I have Freya, and I have Loki. And my Nordic mythology is kind of failing me right now. So I have to have a quick look. Well, of course, there's Odin. Sure, there is Thor. Of course, Thor, and who doesn't know Thor? But I think there must be more, right? Frigg. Frigg was the wife of Odin. Let's do it like this. This is the Frigg probe, which will land on the moon. I think it's a fitting name for this occasion here. Let's do it like that and open up our launch vehicle again and merge that. We need, of course, a launch vehicle. Without it, we won't be able to get there. And I somehow managed to attach it to a weird part here. So, first of all, change this to extra radius and extra height. We need extra height as well. So, but I can do that with my fairing later. Go to payload fairings, get the conic one in the original color scheme. And we have the landing leg sticking out. Oh, this is hilarious. Why on earth is there an ejection torque? Well, I guess it does have probably a point. Okay. And we need to shape this and hopefully get it to a shape where it doesn't collide through, because I think this might be able to rip off, not rip off, but rather damage the probe body, which I don't want, of course. So if we do it like this, this is pretty good, isn't it? Is this actually? Can I grab it? Can I? Okay, let's attach one of these first. Have a quick look. It's still colliding a bit. Could give it some more extra radius. Let's do it like that. And I think we should be clear now. Okay, and then add the second one. Looks like a giant egg on there. Looks rather hilarious. And I cannot add more stages. Oh, I can. Okay, that was weird. Okay, so why on earth is this staging so messed up again? Okay. So, this also needs to be fired like there. And this needs to be fired sometime else. So this and this, okay, this is correct. This needs to be... Oh, right, wait. I just thought about something. I might need to go back up here and change some stuff right away, but let's quickly finish up the staging first. Okay, this is okay, blah, 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 blah. Looks good, okay. Because I just noticed, of course, I don't want to leave any debris behind. And because debris is just bad, you know, it adds to the whole problem of the Kessler syndrome. Kessler syndrome, of course, very famous for basically, basically says that eventually if space debris collides, it does have a chain reaction and you get more and more space debris, and eventually you'll be unable to send anything to space because the probability of hitting space debris is so high that it's too risky. And of course that's nothing we want to have to deal with. So yeah, that's something I have to be aware about. But I do have no probe body that I could put on here to deorbit it later, do I? Not really. Also, another thing I just realized, I need a solar panel on here. Because without solar panels or anything to recharge it, this thing will just run out of battery and die. Even though it won't do much, and it does not have communications either. So I'm forgetting quite a few things here right away, so this is not good. But wait, there was one antenna that was exactly made for this, right? Yeah, this one. It's supposed to go there on that nice little round. Wait. Grab it. Come on. Get on it. Damn it. Could you attach, please? There we go. That's not the way it's supposed to go. That's not at all how it's supposed to go, is it? Or is it? Maybe it is. But I don't think so, because that looked ugly. If I do it like that, it's not gonna work for me. Nope. I'm gonna take this antenna here and just stick it on here. Try to get it to snap there. Nope, not that node. Get on the front node, would you? No, you won't. Okay. Just put you on there, because that is a nice large antenna to send all the necessary data home. Okay. Now, decoupler shroud here, and decoupler shroud sizing to 6.3 as well. Okay, and this needs another small stage to it, I think. Nah, it doesn't. Not the way I suppose. I envision it, I guess. And of course, I just realized I probably want to use the Terrier engine on here, since the Puck engine I haven't really used yet, and it would probably fail me. So this has already a few iterations basically used, so this is probably the better idea. And I need a procedural fuel tank here. RCS tank. Procedural RCS, where are you hiding? There we go. And it's about the right amount already. If I just take the correct dark gray tank. Fits almost good. Yeah, see, it's good. And the RCS thrusters, of course. But if I deorbit with this stage anyway, I'm gonna remove this. This is just unnecessary weight. And saving weight is pretty important here, since I want to try to get this down pretty much on the dot with the delta V, as I don't want to waste fuel. And I think if I were to take more, I would probably waste some. And I would leave a stage in orbit, which I cannot accept. This is unacceptable. So I am actually looking for the RCS ports. Where am I? This is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4 down here. So we do have our RCS, and the shroud can go back on. Our nicely egg-shaped shroud, which is even more egg-shaped now. And I'm just gonna control that I'm not gonna hit anything. Looks good. I can take it again and attach it back to the probe, and wow, that is an egg. That is an egg, isn't it? Can I change this to not be like egg-shaped? I can change it a bit, I guess. Okay. This is rather hilarious looking. Okay. Well, it's getting more egg-shaped. I am spending way too much time figuring out how to make a fairing look good, but I don't know. I'm really interested in my rockets to look good, I guess, because I think that's also an important part of rocket building. Okay, we got the fairing there, or the coupler shroud. So if I attach my launch vehicle back, check my staging again. I got this, decouple this, okay, this, and decouple before this. Stage these way before this, and then decouple this and put it down. And like I said, I forgot solar panels. So let's grab a quick solar panel here, and probably need to go redundant on this, as the batteries are also not there yet. These are the Landvermesser batteries as well, so these batteries, oh yeah, there's no electric charge on this. Oh my god. Wow, I forgot a lot here. This is probably not good. I'm starting to start to forget things here. So I can attach these here on this nice little part. Should probably make them look quite nice. Yeah, that's about okay. Don't need to go overly fancy on these. And add one more here. And a solar panel. Now, the solar panels I have right now, I do have the static ones, but these are kinda in the way, so this is a big large one, and attaching it like there might work. Oh, cool. That's nice. Which mods did you install? Wow, this would knock off every single panel on there, I think. This is not practical. But this is the only solar panel I have that is usable for me, I think. Now this is, this is one of the problems that you might run into, where you don't have the solar panels you need, and actually I could use this one, because that is nice and flappy, and it retracts into this beautiful, nice way, and if I extend it, it will absolutely clip into the body, so it doesn't work there. Wow, this is not good. This is not good. Okay, if I do them like that, this whole thing would be absolutely imbalanced. But I can extend my solar panels and they won't collide, I think. Let's deploy the landing legs. Yeah. Retract the landing legs. I need to somehow balance it though. by either adding a panel up here, so I could just move these over here and add the thermometer back over here. And simply take one of these and add it to... Whoa. What did I just copy there? Oh, I copied the fairing, of course. Add it up there. But that would still collide once it's rotating. So... might do the creative thing here and do a bit of scale sheeting here, okay? Now, if I extend this, this is gonna rotate and it's gonna hit it. It's gonna hit it, isn't it? Yep, it will hit it. That is not good. Not good at all. If I can rotate it manually right now, and yep, there it's gonna clip. Let's just add a heavy battery down here. Remove these two. Hopefully that balances it out. If it doesn't, well, that's bad. If it does, we're fine. Okay, add two of the fairings. Fairings are there, separation. This initiates, this separates, this fires. We are good to go for the Frick probe. And it took freaking long, basically, to get this developed. Okay. That was a bad pun, and I should feel bad for that, but I don't. So, I'm gonna add this to our build list, and I'm gonna leave the VAP. I'm gonna have a quick look at the time. It's a good time to do that one more mission. I think I will definitely do this one. Let's warp to completion. Of course, I could just send out the other the other Loki probe I have in stock, since I do still have that in storage, which I could always roll out and launch. But I think we already did that one. I think it's time to do another one, a different probe. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll out the Frick. And we're gonna warp to completion. And it's a beautiful day to launch a rocket to the moon. The good thing is our launch vehicle is pretty much evolved now, so nothing should fail on that side. The transfer stage, however, and the probe especially, the probe is very experimental. It is a very, very dangerous. Everything could fail on it. Probably everything will fail on it. But who knows? And let's go to our launch pad. And my game is crashing again. Okay, I need to remember that I don't do this here, because this is giving me what science wants. It's not redoable. SAS on. Full throttle. Resource panel up. Looking good. Everything is nominal. Engine ignition. No failures here. And launch. Lift off. Waiting for about 70 meters per second. A underthrust detected in our center engine, which in theory is not that bad yet. It's a center engine. We should have enough thrust to weight ratio in theory. I need to check this though. It has about 106. Yeah, we should be fine. I think we're not running in any danger here to basically mess up our ascent. So this is interesting, right? Our engine failed a bit, but not too badly. And of course, we are approaching the 10-kilometer mark here. I'm gonna pitch over some more. and throttle up again, since we should not have any big problems with aerodynamic stresses or loss due to drag here. Now let's see how we do with that engine. Gonna jettison these. Korolev crossed them away. Okay, get that aligned, and we do have enough thrust to weight here to basically continue our burn. We are at 1.7, so we have a high thrust to weight ratio still. It's about time to deploy the fairings. They have been deployed successfully. Now, one thing I didn't really think about is electric charge in transit, because I have to deploy these solar panels probably for the transit, which basically puts me in a situation where I don't want to be, because I think they are not retractable and I have to basically land with them expanded. I don't know if that is giving me any imbalance in the rocket while landing or in the probe, but we'll find out, I guess. Gonna push up a bit more here, try to get some more velocity. Here we go, and decouple, and ignite. And let's go here and have a quick look. Okay, apoapsis. Add a maneuver at our apoapsis to circularize with 500 meters per second, giving us another 300 meters per second to basically get our orbit correct. 300, I said 2000 meters per second to get our orbit into the moon's sphere of influence. Sphere of influence. Holy, I have problems speaking today. Let's warp here. That should be enough. I need about 18 seconds or so before the maneuver node to get there in time. So let's do this. And engine ignition. And extend all solar panels, by the way. Making sure we have electric charge. Okay, so circularization burn is almost complete, and then we'll see to plot our moon encounter. We do have a slight inclination here. I seem to have wiggled a bit, but of course we are not using a probe body which has a precise SAS control, so I'm kind of relying on eyeballing to stay on my target here. Okay, here we go. We want to go to the moon, so plotting about here. There we go. There's the moon encounter. And focus view on this. Yeah, that's about good, I think already. Let's do it like that. And that's a 50-second burn, 25 seconds about. So, 25 seconds before the maneuver node we need, I'm gonna warp. This is gonna bring us a bit off our point there, but I think we'll be fine. Here we go, wow, what is it doing? shooting off these thrusters like... That's the SAS doing it. Okay. Holy macaroni, that is interesting. Okay, let's warp a bit. Get to about 40 seconds before we get off the pause and focus on getting that timing right this time. Hopefully it holds the stability this time on that marker for me. Here we go. Burning to the moon. Let's hope I can land this and hope it doesn't break. And that I didn't forget anything. So, we are gonna be arriving at the moon and we're gonna circularize first and then deorbit and land after we picked a nice spot. Because we do have some science experiments which we might be able to do from orbit. And if my calculations are right, we should have enough delta V to do all of this. Okay. Let's get the prograde on, because we are on a collision course right now. The retrograde on. We are on a collision course, which you don't want. That's about okay. Take that. I'll take that. Okay. Let's approve this. Go to periapsis, circularize. 200. And that is pretty good. Problem if using RCS, of course, is we are gonna change our orbit a little bit when using RCS here to get our vector here, and I don't want that. So the transit went well. 13-second burn here to circularize. That was a quick warp through that. I hope nobody took a problem with that, because we already burned to the moon, right? And we want to land there, not just I don't know, look stupid. Also, what we're gonna do is after that, I think, because we do have a moon and night right now, and moon and nights take 30 goddamn days. So after we arrive here and did our capture burn, we're basically gonna set us our Kerbal alarm clock to in about 15 days before we're gonna return to this probe. And gonna finish up our mission, because I don't want to land here, because then I don't have any communications, of course, and being in a lunar night is not gonna be fun. First of all, to land, because you can't see all, and second of all, it's useless for me and you, because you wouldn't be able to see anything. Which I think the whole purpose of this doing this here is so you can see stuff. We lost a RCS thruster. Let's repair that. Of course, it cannot be repaired, because it cannot. Let's hope nothing more fails on this while we're out here. Doing our capture burn here, and we are in orbit soon, which helps, of course. Yeah, here we go. That's enough of an orbit. Of course, there's the other Loki probe here that we left here stranded, because it didn't have enough delta V to the orbit, and everything broke on it. Kind of like we have here right now. I mean, this RCS port, for example, not so nice of it to break here. What I will do is I'm gonna deploy toggle gear action group, right? Yes. Why I am doing this right now, you might ask? Just in case it breaks. If this thing breaks now, it has this deployed, so you know, at least I can recover, or at least I can try to land it next. And now I'm gonna put in, I guess, let's go to the tracking station. We're gonna leave this there for now. Like I said, we're gonna wait for the moon a day. So I'm gonna have a quick look. I am pretty new. Oh, cool. Pretty new to Kerbal alarm clocks. So I want to set a new alarm here. Selected vessel. No, I don't want to. No, I don't want a bath. Okay, and that doesn't matter. Let's do the frick probe, right? Yeah. Can I put it in there when I... Okay, no, I can't. Basically what I want is to have a notification in 20 days. So 15. Wait, no. 215. Wait, 15? Is that right here? And oh, it completely messed with me here. 1. That is at 20 days. Right? In 20 days, this should be... Wow, no, hang on. Am I right here? This is not even correct, right? If I do 5 days. You know what? I'm not going to do it like that. I'm just going to warp from here. Just, I think I'm going to get things confused. I just want to do it when it... Basically, the sun is shining onto the moon and not at the back of the moon. Basically, when the moon is about here or so, I want to do it. So let's just feel like doing this. So sort of affair here. Yeah, let's do it like that. This gives the light side of the moon to be here, and we can go to the frick probe now. And gonna do the landing. Huzzah! Loading in. Did anything more fail yet? Not yet, at least. Let's see. Okay, we are on a good side here. Basically, what I could do is add a maneuver here and do a retrograde burn, which will put me on the other side. Hang on. Add a maneuver here, right? Retrograde burn. And that will bring me to impact about there. And my landing is going to be a bit more towards here, since I'm going to be decelerating, of course. Let's do it like that. Okay. So, let's point ourselves retrograde. We do have a broken RCS thruster, basically, which will make some things difficult here. And let's just warp here. Of course, the rotation did just undo everything again. I have to do this again. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. We do have thrust vectoring, so I'm just going to use that to basically kind of wiggle around here. Don't need to be perfect here on that point anyway, so this is more of a seems about right thing. Seems about right. Okay. What we're going to do now is say goodbye to our transfer stage, and we're just using that lander. That lander that doesn't seem to have any wheel. Doesn't it have any? Okay. Well, it doesn't seem to have any Deploy that antenna, by the way. Making sure I have communications. It said it does have reaction wheels, however, they are locked. They're disabled. Why are they are disabled? Toggle talk. Okay. This might explain something. Why were my reaction wheels disabled? Well, I mean, they are back on. They are in normal mode, and I'm gonna turn them down a bit because they are quite aggressive. Here we go. That is much better. I had a panic there for a bit because that would have been interesting. Even though we have engine gimbaling, landing this without reaction wheels would have been interesting. Let's ignite this stage. Now, a nice thing is we do have a radar altitude here, which gives us an actual altitude readout instead of this one. So as you can see, due to the terrain height of 4 kilometers, if we would just assume that 0 here is the ground, it's wrong. So I want to keep an eye on this one instead of this one to gauge how much I need to decelerate. Of course, we're going to speed up quite a bit more until we hit the ground. And I'm just going to warp here a bit because I really don't need to. Okay, now we have an eclipse right now. Oh my god. Why, please, why? Well, I guess we're gonna land into an eclipse. Thankfully we see some stuff, but this is gonna cost us electric charge, which is terrible right now. Oh my god, warp here. Let's just hope that this is worth it. Keep the experiments we already have. Keep. Okay. Whoa. Why does it feel like I'm falling straight down? Whoa, whoa. Oh, of course, it's a visual problem because I assume... Ah, yeah, I don't have any visual cues. This is my brain messing with me right now. Is it? I guess. We're just gonna throttle down and hope that we hit the ground somewhat good. Oh god, this is terrible. Landing in an eclipse without lights. Oh god, no, this was a lot of... Apparently we're still 14 kilometers up and I can't tell. How long is this eclipse gonna last? Oh my god, we just started it basically. Oh gosh. So we went from waiting out a lunar night to waiting out an eclipse. Well, I guess I'm just gonna wing it here. 10, 11 kilometers above ground. And I'm losing any visual cues here I see the probe, but I can't see anything else. Still approaching with 300 meters per second. Might want to burn a bit more. Get rid of some velocity, especially the... okay. Maybe trying to do this. I just hold my impact distance there? Did I just accelerate back up? That would have been stupid, right? Oh, I didn't. Okay, everything's alright. I want to touch down with about 5 meters per second, I guess. I do see some mountains here. Is that fireflies? What is this? Don't tell me this is city lights. No way. It's the city lights, really? What the heck was this? Hope no mod just freaked out and added city lights to the moon. Or did someone live on the moon? Ooh. We are losing altitude quickly here. Need to decelerate here. I'm doing this all by instrumentation because I cannot see anything. Literally. So basically flying blind here. We landed. Well, and now we're flipping. And we lost our antenna. And we lost more. Wow. And do I have... Well, I do still have a signal. I mean, it's flipped around, but might be able to... Well, I mean, this is not how the landing legs are supposed to be used, I guess. But damn it, I could. We lost some experiments. Lost batteries. Okay, I flipped the probe correctly though. At least that worked. Basically all we do have is 2 experiments now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna warp. Time warp bit here till we get a sunlight back. Oh thanks, we do have sunlight here. Seismic scan, transmit, seismic scan. And transmit. Oh yeah, no usable okay. So basically what we did now, we failed on 2 missions here. This one is basically kaput. So I'm just gonna make it kaput for real. Wow. Well, I guess I'm just gonna leave it then. That thing is tough as nails. Hey, that's a nice rock. I'm just gonna leave it here for now. This is so sad. It's so sad. Why did that happen? 34 meters per second left, so I might as well just burn these off. Woo, hoverboarding. Yeah, so this is something we have to keep in mind, that we don't launch during eclipses, because I have eclipses turned on in my scatterer, which makes this quite weird if there's an eclipse and you can't see anything. And of course there's this, which this just messes with me here. I might be able to get this somehow. I'll have to see about that. So, another mission to the moon that failed. We're starting to kind of develop something that actually really happened in real life with some of the probe missions back in the day. For example, the whole Venera program that the Russians had, which sent probes out to Venus, actually, which is quite difficult, actually, to land on Venus. And they did it multiple times, even though it took them a few attempts, to say the least. I think it took him like 20 attempts, or 20. They had 20 launches to Venus, but it is probably one of the best programs they ever had, and I think that is probably the highest achievement next to Yuri Gagarin's first flight and Sputnik and the Mir that the Russians really had. And the Salyut, of course, but all that kind of stuff. I think the Venera program stands out to me because the Russians very early on managed to get this beautiful probe out to Venus, landed there, and basically the atmosphere of Venus is like 19 times higher than on Earth, so everything just gets crushed like a soda can. And it's super hot, so everything melts away. And they built a probe that lasted 56 minutes or so. And it was able to transmit data. It was able to send pictures of the surface of Venus. And that is something that is quite impressive there. So it is year 1, day 199 on our small little space program. Let's have a quick look into the tracking station, what we have achieved so far. Since we have achieved some stuff, for example, we do have 2 Earth or Kerbal orbits, 1 polar, 1 on the equator, but with a highly elliptical orbit. We do have 2 probes on near or on the moon. 1 is landed, however, it does have some problems. It is kind of damaged. And the second one is the orbiter, which is also damaged. So basically, we do have 2 probes which are kind of kaputt, just to use a very nice German word there. So we didn't really get much information or science data from the moon yet. So of course, the next thing we should do is send another probe to the moon. I do have another Loki probe in stock. Thinking about it, it is possible to land that. Now this is, of course, very crazy talk here. But I might do it. I'm gonna have to think about that. But I'm not gonna think about that now. Because I think it's about 2 hours and 43 minutes into the stream. I'm gonna call it quits for now. I might be back later. Certainly be back probably tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see how we do continue here. Maybe just a quick recap what we did. We sent out 2, was it 2? I'm not quite sure. I think 2 probes to the moon only. We had 2 attempts at the first probe, at the Loki probe, because one was a complete and total failure. The second one was a failure, but not a complete and total one. We got some science. We sent the Frick probe, which, well, you just saw it. We had some calculations issues with our launch window there. And then, of course, we did launch a sounding rocket in the beginning to test out some stuff, and did a few engine tests. Basically, that was quite successful, I think, and thanks for watching for now, and I think I'm gonna see you next time. Goodbye.